Larry, very good to see you. Today's video is by popular demand. People want to know more about Roth IRAs. So we're going to break down 6 things that you may not know about the Roth IRA. That's because Roths are one of the best ways to create tax-free money and generational wealth. So point number 1, Roth IRA contributions are not tax deductible, but everything in it grows tax-free.
Yeah, absolutely, Erin. Again, that's something, obviously we like to save tax money, but we don't realize the significance of paying, money on the, they say pay it on the seed, not the harvest.
Right.
So while you don't get to deduct that money, on the front end, the ability to have that grow tax free afterwards is very much undiscussed because it's really a huge difference. And most people be very happy they did that.
Right. And the other note, one of the reasons, you create generational wealth is that your beneficiaries also aren't paying taxes on it.
Absolutely. With the traditional IRA 401k that, when you do inherit that, there's a Secure Act makes you take that out over 10 years and you're going to pay taxes many times at a higher tax rate then. But yeah, when you can send that, you still have to take out required minimum distributions if you inherit that money down the road, but with no taxes at all. Again, another huge plus right there.
Right. All right. Number 2 here, you can withdraw your Roth IRA contributions at any time.
Absolutely. So, that's another big thing is I don't want to have people to use it as an emergency fund, excuse me, if you will. But it does allow that if you put in those contributions that you can withdraw the contribution, just not any earnings or interest until you're 59 and a half years of age.
hmm Number 3, there is no age limit for those contributions.
Yeah, another plus. Look, there's so many valuable things about the
Yeah.
Roth there again, is that when you can, if you're still working, as long as you have earned income, you can continue to contribute to those Roth IRAs regardless of your age. It's a very, very another big plus that you can't do, with a traditional IRA.
hmm On that same note, too, like even if you're very young and working, you can contribute to a Roth.
Yeah, again, I mean, there's all kind of strategies, not just for young people out in the workforce, but for business people that maybe have kids that they want to put into the workforce. And, again, talking about generational wealth is to use that
hmm
Roth IRA for that then. So absolutely, when you have no age limit, both, older or younger, very, very well suited for most people.
hmm Next, there are no required minimum distributions with Roth accounts.
Look, the taxes right now, we're in such a low tax environment, and that can got kicked down the road again with the new tax big beautiful bill. So you see again, we're at a very low tax rate as as compared to history. Great time to look at conversions as well as contributions, and knowing that you don't have to take any of those required minimum distributions if it does go up in the future, which many people think it might. With the $37 trillion deficit that we have
Mhm.
outstanding, they think taxes still may go up in the future. That's to be determined. But it's great to not that when you do have to take out those required minimums, or you don't have to, and that when you do when you leave that money to kids, that it still will not be impacted on their tax brackets.
Right. All right. Number 5 here. This is when we kind of get into the bummers. Basically, the government giveth and the government taketh away. Annual contribution limits here are pretty low.
Yeah, I mean that again. You're right. The government giveth and they taketh away. It is very low. You can only put about $7,000 in a year. I think 8,000 if you're over 50. Now, another myth or misnomer. A lot of people think, well, hey, I'm already retired, so I cannot contribute to a Roth IRA. You can't contribute without earned income, but you can do conversions of traditional IRAs. So you can still get a lot of money in there in a different way.
Right. Yeah. There are a lot of workarounds. On that note as well, number 6 here, there is an income cap with Roth accounts.
Yeah, two things there that I like talking about, Erin, is there's an income cap. If you make more as a single, about 165,000, a little under 250, I think 246 for married, you
Mhm.
cannot put money in. But you can do what's called a backdoor Roth, to where you can contribute to a traditional Roth and then roll that, excuse me, a traditional IRA and roll that over to a Roth. There's also something for higher income earners that you can use a properly structured life insurance policy that some call an alternative Roth. That again, it's all about the way it's structured for more cash accumulation. So there are some workarounds and some more strategies that you can use.
Yeah, I've heard that referred to as the rich person's Roth
Yes,
before.
ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah. And one more thing that we were talking about offline, a lot of people may not recognize that their employer probably offers a Roth 401k, and neither does that have an income limit.
Yeah, that's probably another thing that I've really been preaching a lot lately, is that people do not realize if they have that option of a 401k Roth, doesn't matter their income. If they're over those limits, it's not looked at. You can very much take use of that, and I suggest that you do so.
hmm And the reason we're having this conversation today, Larry, when we talk about Roth accounts versus traditional accounts, the one most important variable is what is today's tax rate, right? And we are living in historically low tax rates, which is why Roth accounts pay your taxes now while the rates are low, and then let that money grow tax free. So, Larry, today is still a great time to consider a Roth conversion. Explain.
Absolutely. There again, I mean, when you look at this chart and you see again through history, just what we are really in a lower bracket today. And with this new tax bill, again, you have these, especially for seniors, for everybody really, but 65 and older, you got that extra $12,000 that you're going to be able to reduce your overall taxes. So it's a great time to convert while these rates are lower. And again, by converting to that Roth, I know I've mentioned it a few times here that if you don't spend all that money and you leave it to heirs, it's great that they are not going to have to pay taxes on that.
hmm
So it's a phenomenal use of your monies. That it's not just a few thousand; it's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars if it's done correctly over a lifetime and over your kid's lifetime.
Right. Yeah. The sooner you make those conversions, the longer that money can grow tax free. So, Larry, if somebody wants to sit down with you, crunch the numbers, and talk about, either a conversions or, how to create generational wealth, what's the best way to reach you?
They can call our office number. That's area code 615-216-1048, or they can go on our website, which is www.sfawealth.com.
Great. Larry, thank you.
Thank you, Erin.